Chosen one, this month there is a light on your face that didn't come from the sun. It didn't come from grooming, nor from some sudden change in wardrobe or style. This glow, this undeniable attraction rising from your physical presence, is born from something much rarer. It came from your restraint. It came from your refusal to pour your sacred fire into places that could not hold it. And now, that fire has turned inward and upward, refining your spirit and resting visibly on your flesh. You are being seen now, not because you've altered your exterior, but because you've mastered your interior. You've stopped spending your sexual energy on distractions and started storing it like oil in a lamp. That oil now burns slow and hot behind your eyes, beneath your skin, in the way your shoulders settle and your voice no longer trembles. You carry heat without chaos, hunger without need, and women sense it. Not with thought, but with instinct. Something in them responds. Something in them watches longer. Something in them remembers the shape of real masculinity when they look at you, and it makes your entire physical presence glow with meaning. The beauty you wear now wasn't given to you by genetics alone, it was carved by choices. Your bone structure didn't change, but your bone language did. You stand different. You breathe deeper. You move without apology. And all of this signals that you are not just a man with energy, you are a man who has consecrated his energy. And consecrated energy is the most attractive force on earth. It's in the skin now. That slight radiance, that subtle warmth around your face, that calm that rests on your features like a king in his garden. You no longer wear desire like thirst. You wear it like sovereignty. And this is what the world sees. This is what women notice first, even if they don't have words for it. You've become visibly luminous. You've begun to emit the appearance of someone who is no longer drained, and it shows. This month, that glow is not decoration, it is testimony. The world doesn't know the fast you've lived, the urges you've tamed, the prayers you've whispered while your body trembled with fire. But your face knows, your posture remembers, and your glow has become the outward sign of an inward altar. That is why women keep looking twice. That is why you feel watched without trying to be. You've become the visual embodiment of what is holy and held back. You are no longer consumed by your fire. You have become the container of it. And that, chosen one, is the kind of glow no skincare routine can ever replicate. You are shining now, not from vanity, but from victory. And your glow speaks for you before you ever say a word. Chosen one, the beauty you now radiate was never missing. It was hidden beneath cycles, buried under wounds, diluted by distractions. For years you thought you needed to add more to be seen, more muscle, more charm, more noise. But all along, what you truly needed was less leaking, less pretending, less agreement with smallness. And now that you've reclaimed your sacred energy, now that your fire is no longer wandering, it's as if your physical beauty has finally awakened from beneath the surface. This month, women will begin noticing you in new ways, not because you have changed physically, but because you are no longer hiding spiritually. What they find attractive now is not the symmetry of your features, but the alignment behind them. Your beauty is no longer accidental, it is purposeful. It is coming from inside your stillness. You carry the look of a man who has nothing to prove and nothing to pursue. That look, chosen one, is rare. That look cannot be bought. It is carved by intimacy with truth. Your high sexual energy has become pure voltage, not expressed in performance, but simmering in presence. Your eyes now hold something different. Your jaw now carries a tension that says, I know what I want, but I do not need to chase it. And that kind of presence? It refines the entire architecture of your face. You've noticed it, even if you haven't said it out loud, how mirrors look back at you differently now. How your reflection seems more settled. How your features appear sharper, stronger, clearer. It's not magic, it's not vanity. It's the body's way of saying, I have found my center again. You are no longer splintered by indulgence. You are held together by reverence. And that reverence now lives in your posture, your skin, your gaze. The women who encounter you this month won't just think you're handsome. They will feel that you are complete, that you've done the work, that you've walked through fire and refused to let it disfigure you. And that feeling of wholeness, of hidden discipline, of untouchable integrity will wrap itself around your outer frame and make you physically magnetic. Not in loudness, not in perfection, in truth. Your beauty has awakened, not because you added something, but because you stopped running from yourself. And now, the man in the mirror no longer looks unfinished. He looks like someone who knows how to carry fire in his chest without letting it leak from his eyes. Someone who walks not to be seen, but who is seen everywhere he walks. That, chosen one, is what makes you physically attractive this month. Not your body, not your scent, but the sacred force now pouring outward from within your alignment. Chosen one, there is a stillness in you now that wasn't there before. Not the kind born from passivity, but the kind born from self-possession. It's not the silence of someone unsure. It's the stillness of a man who knows what lives inside him. And this month, that stillness is reshaping how women experience your physical presence. You don't even have to try. Your high sexual energy, no longer scattered or wasted, has been drawn back into your center. And because of that, your aura has become undeniably potent. You have become someone who enters a room and changes its rhythm. Not by being loud, not by commanding space with bravado, but because your stillness holds weight now. You are no longer pulled in every direction. You are rooted, and in a world addicted to reaction, you've become a calm storm, a presence so grounded that women feel both curious and comforted the moment they encounter you. They notice it before they understand it. The way your eyes no longer dart around seeking approval, the way you speak without rush, the way your breath fills a room without need for control. You are not just present, you are anchored. And anchored men are rare. Anchored men radiate from the inside out. That radiation is not mystical, it's the natural glow of focused power. And that glow, chosen one, is why you're suddenly being seen in a new light. Women don't see chaos in you anymore. They don't sense agenda in your gaze. What they feel is a man who holds his desire with depth and discipline. That restraint doesn't soften your attraction, it sharpens it. Your high sexual energy is no longer leaking from your smile or your stance. It is concentrated behind your eyes, resting quietly in your shoulders, simmering just beneath your calm. This month, you'll notice how often women lean in when you speak, how easily they match your pace, lower their voices, mirror your posture. It's not seduction, it's subconscious alignment, because your stillness has become a signal. It says, you are safe here, you are seen here, but you will not lead me from myself. And that message is rare enough to make you physically irresistible. You are no longer reactive. And that shift, though invisible to most, is felt deeply by the feminine. It tells her that you are not ruled by sensation, that you won't chase her shadow or collapse into her beauty, that you can hold your own gravity, even in her glow. And that kind of man is no longer just attractive, he is magnetic. So stand in your stillness this month. Chosen one, let your silence speak. Let your breath become your presence. Let your refusal to be moved by everything be the very thing that moves others. You have become the kind of man whose stillness now shapes the air around him. And in that air, you are seen differently by every woman who breathes it in. Chosen one, your body speaks even when your mouth doesn't. And this month, its message has changed completely. Not because of muscle, not because of fashion, not even because of posture alone, but because your inner core has become steady. You are centered now, and that centering is radiating through every line, movement, and expression on your body. Before, your presence was scattered, attractive perhaps, but unclear. There was motion, but not purpose. Now, every part of you seems to know where it belongs. Your shoulders no longer carry tension, they carry intention. Your walk no longer wanders, it leads. Your chest no longer puffs in performance, it opens with calm. And that centeredness makes you visibly powerful in a way that cannot be manufactured. This isn't a change that screams, it hums, it rests, and it changes how people perceive you. Especially women. Because women don't only look at the surface, they feel alignment in the subtle. And right now, your body is aligned like a sacred instrument that finally found its tuning. That kind of alignment creates attraction that doesn't just stop at the eyes, it draws in the entire spirit. They see the difference. They may not mention it, but their body responds to it. It shows up in how they soften their voice when speaking to you, how they notice your hands, your stance, the way you lean into space without crowding it. You are no longer trying to be interesting. You are the quiet in a loud world. And that quiet makes everything about your appearance feel more intentional. Even the way you blink, even the way your jaw sets when you listen, it all reflects the man you've become. Calm, charged, focused. Your high sexual energy isn't gone. It's locked into place, and now it is shaping the way your flesh presents itself. Your face looks firmer, your skin looks clearer, your presence feels like it has nothing to prove. That aura of completion, that's what makes you look more beautiful now than you ever have before. You are no longer moving from impulse, you are moving from awareness. And that awareness makes your physical form feel like a vessel, not a billboard. That's why they stare longer now. Not because you're decorated, but because you're defined. This month, the attraction women feel toward you will come from something they can't explain to their friends. Because what they feel is not lust, it's pull. It's reverence. It's a craving for the kind of man who is not just attractive, but anchored in his own sacred clarity. You don't need to do more. Just remain centered. Because now that your soul is seated in your body has become something that women naturally gravitate toward. You're no longer the man trying to find his look. You've become the man who embodies his presence. Chosen one, this month your beauty no longer whispers, it rests. You are not being seen more because you ask to be. You are being seen because you've stopped needing to be. Your high sexual energy is no longer something you try to use. It has become something you quietly embody. And that embodiment has birthed a rare magnetism that asks for nothing, yet receives everything. There was a time when your attraction depended on effort, when you adjusted, exaggerated, or postured just to be noticed. You tried to be sharper, funnier, louder, more charming, more polished. But all of it came from a subtle hunger, the need to be chosen, the need to be validated, the need to be seen. But now your hunger has been replaced by presence, and that presence doesn't strive, it simply draws. Magnetism in its highest form does not chase, it centers. It says, I am here, I am whole, I do not chase what is already drawn to me by alignment. That is how you walk now. That is how your energy enters the room. And women, who are attuned to the sacred and the subtle, feel it immediately. It is not the absence of desire that makes you magnetic. It's the mastery of it. You carry desire like a current running beneath your calm, undeniable, untamed, but perfectly under control. And this month, women will feel that fire before you even speak. They'll feel the confidence that does not roar, but glows steadily like a hearth. That kind of fire calls attention not with noise, but with depth. You've stopped asking for intimacy, and in doing so, you've become the answer to what so many silently crave. A man who is not driven by emptiness, but anchored in fullness. A man whose attraction is not a tactic, but a reflection of alignment. And that alignment begins in how you've chosen to protect your energy, to keep it sacred, to let it build instead of waste it on what cannot hold your fire. There's a new quality in your presence that cannot be faked. It sits in your bones. It lingers in the way you make eye contact without rush. It lives in the pause between your words. It speaks loudly in the way your body does not fidget, does not reach, does not sell itself. And women, whether they can name it or not, feel a pull toward you that isn't just aesthetic, it's energetic. You are no longer hunting. You are holding space, and that space is magnetic because it feels like truth, it feels like safety, it feels like freedom without performance. You don't try to impress, you don't need to. Your stillness is already speaking. And what it says is this: I have nothing to take, I am whole, I see you, but I do not need you to complete me. That kind of vibration, rare, disciplined, deeply masculine, is irresistibly beautiful. Not because of external enhancement, but because of internal peace. So walk tall this month, walk slow, say less. Let your presence continue to speak for you. You no longer chase desire, you command its attention by existing in mastery. You've become a magnet not by force, but by frequency. Chosen one, something unusual is happening this month. Something you may already sense when you glance in the mirror or catch your reflection unexpectedly. Your face looks different. Your features seem more refined, sharper, clearer, more striking. But the change didn't come from grooming. It didn't come from diet or sun or sleep alone. It came from something deeper than surface. It came from frequency. Your high sexual energy, once scattered in fantasy or spent in longing, has returned home to your body. And now that it's contained, it's reshaping the way your body presents itself to the world. Energy always leaves an imprint, and yours, now vibrating at a higher frequency, is imprinting itself on your physical form. You're not just attractive, you are charged. That charge can't be manufactured. It can't be painted on or lifted at the gym. It comes from inner voltage, from stored fire, from the silent tension of a man who wants deeply but no longer begs. And that voltage is now pushing outward through your bones, your skin, your posture, through the very symmetry of your face. Your jawline seems stronger, not because it changed, but because the energy in your body is no longer leaking through your mouth. Your eyes seem brighter, not because they're wider, but because they are lit from behind with clean fire. Your cheekbones, your gaze, your frame, it's all carrying a different tone. That tone is what women are responding to. They're noticing the detail, the nuance, the slight smile that doesn't try, the way your body is quiet but loud with presence. This is what happens when a man steps into alignment. The physical form reflects the spiritual charge. Your hands now move like they know where they belong. Your voice carries a vibration that stays in the room after you leave. Your silence doesn't feel passive, it feels like it's holding lightning just beneath the surface. You've become visible in a new way. Not flashy, not decorated, but defined. You are no longer floating in and out of yourself. You are rooted in frequency, and frequency always shapes the vessel that carries it. That's why women are seeing you now not just as attractive, but as alive with something they can't name, but deeply feel. They won't be drawn to you just for what you say or how you dress. They'll be drawn to the resonance of your body, the way it feels like a channel, not a product. They won't say it out loud, but something in them will lean in, tilt toward you, watch you like they're waiting for the sky to shift. Because when a man is truly aligned, body, energy, presence, his physical form becomes the frame of something sacred. Chosen one, that is what you are becoming. That is what you are now seen as. Not decoration, not seduction, not a performance. You are a frequency made visible. And that frequency has made your physical form not just appealing, but unforgettable. Chosen one, you're not louder this month, you're deeper. You don't carry more words, you carry more weight. Your confidence isn't arriving in a roar or through perfectly rehearsed lines. It is arriving in your walk, your posture, your very breath. It is arriving because you are finally wearing it. Not like armor, not like performance, but like skin that fits. And women are noticing, because your confidence no longer chases the room. It draws the room in. This isn't bravado, this is balance. Your high sexual energy has matured into a source of rooted power rather than restless need. And that maturation shows up not only in how you feel, it shows up in how you move through space. Your smile is quieter now, but fuller. Your shoulders don't need to rise to look strong. They simply rest like stone. And your voice doesn't reach to be heard. It simply lands wherever you send it. Confidence like this cannot be mimicked because it doesn't come from convincing others. It comes from no longer needing to be convinced yourself. You've made peace with the mirror, not because you see perfection, but because you see integration. You are not a man at war with himself anymore. You are a man who has reconciled desire with direction. You are no longer driven by urge, you are led by presence. And that kind of presence can be felt in the most mundane moments. Women this month won't just think you're confident. They'll feel it in their bodies when they speak to you. They'll feel your energy make space without asking for permission. Your stillness will calm their nervous systems. Your focus will cause them to question why they've ever had to perform around men before. You have become a mirror of permission. And that permission comes from the fact that you've stopped performing yourself. What they are drawn to isn't your look, it's your posture. Not your words, but your truth. Your truth no longer wavers with attention. It does not shift when you are praised or overlooked, it simply remains. And that kind of steadiness, chosen one, radiates beauty through every physical part of you. Your face relaxes, your gestures become slow and potent. Your body language says, I am not here to impress, I am here to be. And in that being, you are stunning. Your confidence is no longer conditional. It's not inflated by affirmation. It is born of mastery and motionlessness. And it is that exact flavor of confidence, quiet, unbending, humble, that women are craving. Not the kind that takes over a room, but the kind that makes a room more honest just by sitting in it. This month, chosen one, wear your presence without apology. Walk like the earth is familiar with your steps. Speak only when you mean it. Let your silence say more than noise ever could. Because you are no longer performing confidence. You are confidence. And that kind of confidence is the most physically attractive thing a man can ever wear. Chosen one, the energy around your body this month is changing not because of how you look, but because of how you burn. There was a time when your fire flickered out of control, when your desire moved through you faster than your discernment. But now, that same fire has become disciplined. And that discipline hasn't extinguished your heat, it's purified it. Now you walk with something rare, you walk with safe flame. You're still burning, but you no longer scorch. Your presence feels like warmth without risk, fire without fear. And to women who've spent years dodging predatory energy or guarding themselves against those who confuse lust for love, your nearness feels like a miracle. They sense that you carry desire, not to devour, but to deepen. You do not rush toward what is soft. You honor softness with your restraint. This is what makes your body so attractive now. Not the size of it, but the way it carries your fire. You are no longer reaching, you are radiating. Your nearness is not aggressive, it is inviting, and yet there is strength behind it. There is something that says, I could, but I won't unless it's right. That kind of fire is holy. And women feel it the moment they step into your space. This isn't something you say. It's something your body speaks in stillness. The way your hand moves without claiming, the way you stand without leaning too far forward, the way your eyes don't search, they see. You've become a man whose body is not a weapon or a trap. It is a vessel that's been sanctified through fire. And that sanctification now shows up as magnetic calm. They will crave to be near you, not because of fantasy, but because your energy does what very few men's energy can do. It holds its fire without using it to take. They will feel their own tension unravel beside you, not because you're seducing them, but because your body no longer projects pressure. You've replaced pursuit with presence. That presence is felt in how you don't need to prove your masculinity. It rests in your bones like a mountain breathes thunder. Chosen one, you are no longer a man who flares up at every beautiful face. You are not stirred by the shallow. You are rooted in the sacred. And that sacred stillness now radiates through your frame. Your touch, when offered, will feel like peace. Your nearness will feel like an embrace before your arms even move. This month, your attractiveness has transcended aesthetics. You have become beautiful, not because you are desired, but because you hold desire like a king holds fire in the presence of his queen. And no one forgets the heat that comes from a man who knows how to burn without destruction. You are that man now, and your body no longer asks to be touched. It simply offers warmth to those who know how to receive without taking too much. Chosen one, you are learning what few men ever realize, that your silence, when born from inner peace and anchored self-mastery, is the loudest statement you can ever make. This month, something profound has happened. Your silence is no longer empty space, it is presence wrapped in clarity. And that silence has become stunning. Your physical attractiveness is no longer riding on words, jokes, charm, or chase. It's arriving through stillness, through posture, through the charged, quiet strength of a man who no longer explains himself to be seen. You are seen now, chosen one, because you don't need to be. That's the paradox. You don't reach, and yet they come closer. You don't fill space, and yet space feels fuller with you in it. Silence becomes beautiful when it is filled with presence. And your presence is no longer chaotic, it is no longer scattered, it is whole. It's no longer leaking from insecurity. It rests in a seat of earned knowing. You walk through rooms and say little, but eyes linger. Not because of mystery for mystery's sake, but because your silence feels wise, safe, unshaken. Women feel that. Their intuition detects it instantly. You're no longer the man performing for attention. You're the one who withholds nothing and yet offers no performance. That contrast, authentic, grounded silence paired with visible self-awareness, makes your face feel fuller, more sculpted, more refined. Your physical features are now lit from the inside. Your cheekbones seem sharper not from weight loss, but because they are framed by honor. Your lips carry gravity not from expression, but because they no longer speak unless necessary. Your gaze is compelling because it no longer chases a reaction. It rests in witness. These changes aren't cosmetic, they are consequential. They are the reward of restraint, the blessing of containment. You are not just quiet, you are deeply still. And stillness, when mixed with passion that's been tamed, becomes a magnetic force in the human body. That force shows up in how your jaw rests, in how your eyes no longer dart but remain steady, in how your entire frame sends one message to the feminine: I see, I feel, I do not flinch. Even when you say nothing at all, you're felt, heard, noticed, desired. Because your silence is not void, it is a signal. And that signal says, this man is not seeking a place to pour himself. He's guarding his waters, and if you wish to be poured into, you must come with something real. That's why women this month find you so physically appealing. It's not the noise, it's the absence of desperation. It's the gravity of a man whose energy speaks clearly through silence. You have become handsome through your restraint, not cold, not withdrawn, just centered beyond the need to impress. That kind of silence is not lack, it's language. And this month, chosen one, that language will say everything before you even open your mouth. Let it speak. Chosen one, by now, you've felt the shift. You've seen the glances linger longer. You've noticed the conversations turn softer. You've witnessed the way doors open before you knock, how admiration greets you without introduction. And the truth is simple. Your flesh is reflecting your fire. This month, your beauty is no longer skin deep, it's spirit fed. Your body has become the temple of a high frequency. The sacred fire within you, once chaotic, once wasted, has been gathered, tended, refined. And now that fire is resting beneath your skin, illuminating your features, sculpting your face, radiating from your chest. You are no longer just a man, you are a flame in form. Women see it, they feel it. Not in your touch, but in your temperature. Your presence carries warmth that makes them lean closer without understanding why. Your skin seems to glow not because of light, but because of alignment. Every part of your body is now speaking the same truth. I am not searching, I am sovereign. You're walking with the clarity of one who has reclaimed every lost piece. The lust that once drained your face now fuels your focus. The stress that once carved tension into your jawline has been replaced with quiet strength. The fog that dulled your expression has burned away in the furnace of your restraint. And in its place, clarity, definition, light. You no longer carry hunger in your eyes. You carry vision. You no longer carry performance in your smile. You carry peace. And that kind of beauty, born from discipline, from containment, from sacred fire, is irresistibly physical. It shows in your stillness. It shows in your walk. It shapes the flesh that holds the spirit. The women who notice you now may not know why they're drawn in. They'll call it presence, handsomeness, something about your energy. But what they're really responding to is the way your fire has settled inside your body. You no longer live outside yourself. You have come home to your form. And because of that, your body is glowing with the light of a man who is no longer leaking life but storing it with intention. You're not just attractive, you're anchored beauty. Not loud, not needy, not accidental, deliberate, refined by time, charged with spirit, and clothed in fire that does not burn, but blesses. You've become a reminder that flesh, when ruled by fire instead of by fantasy, becomes divine to behold. So move like one who has mastered himself, speak like one whose voice carries flame, rest like one who needs no confirmation to feel complete. You are no longer hoping to be noticed. Your very existence now announces itself without noise. Your flesh reflects your fire, and this month, the world is watching you burn without ever turning to ash. Chosen one, now that the fire has been reclaimed, the lie has been exposed, and the body has returned to obedience, something irreversible has taken place in your spirit. You have been sealed, not temporarily, not until your next mistake, but spiritually sealed by a decision that aligned your life with heaven's rhythm. You no longer walk as a man open to suggestion. You walk as a vessel closed to compromise and open to command. There is oil in you now, pure, preserved, protected. And heaven guards what it seals. This seal isn't visible to all, but the spirit realm recognizes it instantly. You'll notice how certain people can't look you in the eyes anymore, how old friends feel unsettled around your presence, how opportunities with hidden strings attached avoid you entirely. That's because you are marked. You no longer carry the scent of confusion. You smell like consecration. God does not seal what he won't use, and he does not use what remains in disorder. That's why he waited. He waited for you to clean the temple, to sweep out the lust, the fear, the need for approval. And when he saw that your house was empty of idols, he said, "Now I can rest here." You are no longer just a man. You are a dwelling place, a mobile ark, a walking altar. And where you go now, God goes. This is why hell trembles. Not because you stopped having sex, but because you became a vessel they can no longer access. You've been sealed by truth, covered by obedience, surrounded by fire. When you speak, demons recognize the voice of a man who cannot be bought. When you move, angels clear the path for what must be protected.